Alright, so dorsiflexion, plantarflexion of the ankle is pretty important when you're trying to do it, when you're squatting. And a lot of people use Olympic lifting shoes to try and improve their leg length of their knee over their ankle. And that sometimes improves, a lot of the time actually, improves how well they can actually get their knees forward. The further forward you do get your knees, and this is a big myth about squatting, of not getting your knees in front of your toes, that's a bit of a myth. The less forward your knees go, the less VMO contraction you get. So you want to get your knees forward so that you can actually contract through your quad. Excuse the tight pants, sorry guys. So what we want to do is improve dorsiflexion range so that we can get our knees forward. An acceptable amount of dorsiflexion range is if you go up against a wall and you basically move back like this. If you can get 12 centimeters of dorsiflexion from your big toe to the wall, for a guy, that's fine. For a girl, about 10 centimeters. And that's an adequate length. You don't want less than that. Most people that I see with dorsiflexion problems are around 4 centimeters from the wall. And that's just not good enough. So there are a few ways that you can fix that. And the first thing, and the most obvious thing, is to go through your calf. A good way that I go through the calf is using a ball. There are your calf stretches as well, which most people do and sometimes don't get anywhere with. So sometimes mashing it up with a ball is good. And you can just simply squeeze it in between your calf and hammy like that, and try and sandwich your calf in. Just be careful on this bone here. If it feels bony, stop. And then you can get the inside of the calf as well. And you can sit like that. If you want, you can also get your foot into dorsiflexion as well, and then squeeze the ball in there too. And just work down the calf as well. So if you repeat that up and down the calf repetitively over a few days, that should improve your dorsiflexion range. The next thing, if that doesn't work, the other thing that's overlooked very often is actually your ability to plantarflex, which is the other way, but also foot range. So if you haven't got adequate movement within your actual foot, and your foot can't extend properly, it's going to look like your calves are tight, but actually it's your foot that's tight. So the way to fix that is to have some traction on there, on your metatarsals. Have some traction on there. And pretty much just start moving back. And what you'll be able to do is you should start being able to get some traction on your mid-tarsals in through there, whilst being able to get your metatarsals into extension over them. And sustained, it's not going to feel like a big stretch, but sustained pressure and holding over time is going to help. That's one way to do it. Obviously, you can supplement that by simply just rolling your plantar fascia, and that's going to allow more extension underneath as well. Okay. The last thing is your ability to move that way, and sometimes the body works in opposites, where if we don't improve this way, we won't have enough that way. So we've got to get the other side too. The way to do that is pretty much to have your toes on the foam roller, swap that, and pretty much just sit on your ankle. You can have your foot into eversion first, inversion first, and you can sit there, and as the higher up you sit, the more pressure you'll have on there. And then you can have your foot into eversion, and all that's going to do is get the medial and lateral compartments of your anterior ankle. Give those a go, and you've got to do this over time in order to fix dorsiflexion restriction, and see how that helps you squat. If it doesn't help you squat and you've still got tight ankles, come and see a healthcare professional.